house, and Curtis and I went and talked to him for, I don't know, hours, 2 or 3 hours. It was wonderful. And he told us all about the things he went through here at the orphanage. Of course, he had the 3 meals a day and a place to live, but there was a corporal punishment, which was very, very strict, very intense. And also, he's half Native American, so there was bias. It was the 30s and 40s, so there was a lot of that still to deal with back then. And he found out that he got a couple letters as a kid, you'll see in the song, from his grandmother, who he'd never heard of before. And after you were an adult, right, in your 70s, he got his files from the state of Minnesota, and he found a letter in there. His grandmother had wanted to adopt him back when he was a boy, and they didn't let her adopt him, and so he never got to meet her. So
because
sad.
she was Native American.
Because she was Native American.
And this concert is dedicated to Myrtle and Harvey and Peter, but also to all of the children.
All of the state school children that grew up.
You can just about feel them, in this room. You really can. And poor Peter, who we love dearly. This is called Where the North Wind Blows.
In the tiny closet, he sat on the cold floor, heard the other kids play through a vent low on the door. Long hours in the darkness, his knees tied to his chest. Dear Miss Munson, let him out. Now you behave, and you get right to bed. Peter was abandoned in 1929. A boarding house in St. Paul found a baby left behind. They sent this little Native American baby to Owatonna, an orphanage. It was called the state school. Peter got a letter when he was about 10. It held a single $1 and a big surprise for him. It said, I am your grandma, it's way up north I am, near the reservation. He read it over and over again. 2 more letters came then and 2 more dollar bills, but it came to a quick end, never heard from her again. His files have a letter from her to the state school. I'd like to raise my grandson, but they said no, and Peter never knew.
In the library, there's a map that shows where my grandma lives, where the north wind blows.
After lights were put out, you must not leave your bed. But Peter was so thirsty, he ran for a drink instead. He heard Miss Munson's footsteps, he doubled up in bed. And then he saw the hammer. It struck his arms, his right knee capped his chest. He hid all his bruises and walked with a bad limp. He scrubbed the floor on his knees and infection set right in. The nurse asked what happened, but he dare not speak. The only thing his files say is infection, hospital for 6 weeks. Weeding in the garden, he cut a bean off by mistake. So Mr. Beatty kicked him in the dirt there Peter lay. He screamed, "You dirty Injun," and kicked him in the chest. His state school records say he is a loner, he keeps to himself. Peter and his 2 friends ran off one July night. They hopped a northbound freight train to find Grandma a new life. They rode and then they walked for a week, but they were caught. Never found the reservation. They did not find his grandma.
a map that shows where my grandma lives, where the north wind blows.
They placed him on a farm when he turned 15. The farmer beat his own wife, attacked Peter all the time. One night in drunken rage, a piece of wood raised high, he hit Peter in the head, and he was knocked out cold by the woodpile. When he finally woke up, he wondered would he die. They left him in the cold November night. He crawled out to the highway and flagged down a ride. His social worker's records say he liked it there, and they were so kind. When he was recovered, he went to Klug's farm. The couple spoke so softly, he thought, why are they so warm? It was a new beginning, could have gone either way. But he chose to be like them, so kind and thoughtful, it was just the way. Peter keeps on working to keep the ghosts at bay. He wrote his own memoir to release his early days. He joined the Fond du Lac band of Ojibwe. He has a loving family, and now he tries to let demons fade away.
In the library, there's a map that shows where my grandma lives, where the north wind blows. Peter Racer, yeah.
Thank you for the pictures. Thank you.
All right.